And that city is a basketball city for sure.
Absolutely.
And they would just love to see the Hornets back in contention for playoff spots each and every year in the NBA. But it's been quite some time.
The state of North Carolina, known as the Hoop State. So they're absolutely
starving.
They're
starving.
That is a great word. But excited about the opportunity. Moving on with the Charlotte Hornets now.
Clingan and Stevens with the opening tip, and Stevens like, yeah, Donovan got it. Go ahead. And again, we will keep you up to date on the score of the game next door as Charlotte gets out with a steal and the finish by Simpson to get things started for the Hornets.
You got the two smallest guys on the floor, Kennedy Chandler and Xavier Simpson, going at it. Kennedy Chandler trying to block that shot, unable to get it to go. And just like that, you see the Hornets, great job defensively.
Clingan off the mark from three.
I watched Clingan do that. He could shoot the three ball in high school. Didn't display that much with Dan Hurley at UConn. That's where he did the most of his damage, in the post. But you talk about a young man who really got his body together. Great shape in his second year at UConn, of course. Two-time national champion.
7th overall pick in the draft last month, and you'll see him wearing number 23. He wore 32 at UConn, but that number in Portland is no longer available. The late, great Bill Walton wore that, so all he did was flip it to 23.
Stevens showing off his shooting touch, and then defensively coming up with the two-hand block.
Salahan goes up against Clingan, tried to avoid the contact more than fight through it.
Kenny Chandler right there giving up an opportunity. With as fast as he is, he should never allow anyone to stay in front of him. He does take advantage of it there. Kenny Chandler, one of the faster guys you're going to find with the basketball in his hands. First round pick of the Memphis Grizzlies 2 seasons ago.
Simpson drives again. Clingan tried to get there, but not in time. Nice pace we got to start this game. And it's all about Chandler and Simpson kind of leading it. Gets the foul there on Salahan.
But you can see Kenny Chandler looks at Salahan guarding him as disrespect. And so he's going to try to go by him every time you see a big guy stepping up. And that's the mentality you have to have as a smaller guard. You see a big trying to guard you on the perimeter. You're thinking to yourself, no way, I'm already looking to see who's going to help when I blow your doors off.
Now, when we had Salahan give his own scouting report earlier, he said he can guard every position 1 to 5. Maybe he has in his career. These 1s and these 5s are different in the NBA.
Different over here.
That's pretty good defensive position there on the drive baseline. Again, one of 3 players from France that were drafted in the top 6.
Go back to a season ago, 2 drafted in the top 7, of course. Maybe the greatest of all French players. I'm sure he will end up being that Victor Wembanyama, going number 1, and then Bilal Coulibaly going to the Wizards at 7. Nice hesitation by Nick Smith Jr., but he got close enough to I think he could have challenged Clingan.
Oh, nice look to Stevens, but Clingan comes over for the block.
After that, maybe he shouldn't have challenged Clingan.
Maybe he knew what he was doing. Nice feed there from Murray to Clingan.
Clingan already with 4 points in this one. Hasn't had a double-figure scoring game yet, but has had 3 straight double-figure rebounding games. So off to a good offensive start for Donovan Clingan.
He hasn't been shooting it very well. It was 3 for 10 in his last outing, shooting less than 30% in the early going of Summer League action. But again, this is what Portland wants. They want to be able to be effective at both ends.
They need someone that can protect the rim. Of course, they have DeAndre Ayton on the roster. Robert Williams was injured the majority of last season, so Donovan Clingan coming in with an opportunity to get minutes early, showing off the reason why he was the 7th pick in this year's draft.
Got a kick ball in that inbounds play.
The one thing that you really have to love about Clingan is his competitiveness. You're talking about a guy, I mean, again, you know, if you play for Dan Hurley, and I continue to, I'm doing better, I'm calling him Dan.
Not Danny?
Nah, he's been Danny forever. Uh-oh.
That was not the best alley-oop there from Rupert. Clingan tried to finish it, but it was on the wrong side of the rim.
But knowing you're playing for Dan Hurley, you can be coached hard. And that's one of the things when you've got young players coming in, you know he's been coached very well and receptive to that coaching, especially when you consider what he was as a freshman and compared to his entire sophomore year.
Justin Minaya getting up just to get down. Portland with an 8-7 lead. That leads to a timeout here with 6:37 to go in the first quarter. Minaya drove, thought he was going to dish it. He's like, I do this myself.
And Stevens caught between a rock and a hard place. Clinging would be the rock, and the hard place would be the wrong side of the highlight with Minaya coming through with a full head of steam.